When couples think about doing a destination wedding in Central Oregon, they think of things like the Cascade Mountain Range or lava caves or all of this beautiful arid foliage. You've got juniper trees, and all of that is present here at Juniper Preserve. You also have all of the comfort and modern amenities of spas, pools, there's golf, there's just tons to do out here. And it's a really fun place to bring your guests for an entire weekend of activities. Juniper Preserve is a destination wellness resort, and at about 35 minutes from the Redmond Airport, it's incredibly accessible from all over the country. When you come here, you'll find that you're surrounded by rugged mountains and beauty and forest and all kinds of wildlife. There are rabbits running around over there. And then behind me, you'll see that we have this really beautiful lodge as well. There's a pool, there are spas, saunas, all kinds of ways that you can just come and relax and disconnect. Now, as a wedding destination, there are also tons of locations that provide really beautiful scenery as a backdrop to your wedding. And we're going to explore each venue in depth to give you an idea of what your wedding could look like out here. Now, here on Spirit Island, we have the first of 3 outdoor venues. This is most popular for your wedding ceremony. And as you can see, we have panoramic views of the golf course and the Cascade Mountain Range behind me. The reason it's called Spirit Island is because we're literally on an island right now. There's a little footbridge that crosses over a pond. We're surrounded by ducks and wildlife. There are even swans swimming around, which is really cool. Now, this space is 6,900 square feet, and you can have up to 300 people on it. Typically, what we'll have are rows of chairs right up along the middle for your wedding ceremony. This also makes for a really good spot to do a cocktail hour before guests make their way across the footbridge over the reception lawn. Now, as an alternative option to Spirit Island, we have this lava cave here, which is the second outdoor venue. This is a much more intimate space where you can have up to 100 guests seated for your wedding ceremony. And I've also seen cocktail hours and small dinners held inside the cave with cafe lighting and space heaters. Up next, let's go check out the event lawn where most couples host their wedding reception. Out here, we have the main event lawn, and this is the largest outdoor venue at Juniper Preserve. It's a 13,000 square foot space that is right outside of the clubhouse, and this is where your guests will shuttle in once you've completed your ceremony, either at Spirit Island or the lava caves. It's a very generous amount of space, and there are a lot of facilities nearby, which make it very ideal. I've seen outdoor events out here, I've seen tented events. You can fit bands, you can kind of fit whatever configuration you want, whether you have a small, little 100-person guest count or all the way up to 300 people. Now let's get down to brass tacks. When it comes to things like accommodations and catering, well, Juniper Preserve has almost everything that you're gonna need on site already. They have an in-house culinary team that does an excellent job. They have a ton of different menu options. The resort also has rentals for up to 150 guests, and that's banquets, rounds, chairs, silverware, plates, napkins, linens, all of that stuff. The other consideration is accommodations, and they have room blocks for your guests so that you're not just having people come in on the wedding day, but that you can actually spend time out here with your friends and family. There's so many activities. There's golf, there's swimming, there's yoga, there's meditation, all of these different things that you can do over the course of an entire weekend so that your wedding feels more like a group vacation. Juniper Preserve also has a variety of indoor spaces, so depending on what the weather's like and what you want, you can also host something in this room, which is called the Chanterelle Ballroom. We have room for up to 100 guests in here where you can have a dance floor, there's a cove for a DJ booth, room for a bar, and some couples even hold their ceremony along this corner right here. You can flip the space and hold a reception. There's just a ton of versatility in a space like this. And then right outside, you have a beautiful view of the Cascade Mountain Range. Now, just outside of the Chanterelle Ballroom, we have this really beautiful patio space, and in the background, you have a view of the mountains. Spaces like this have this distinct Tuscan-style architecture, which you see all over the resort. This is one of my favorite indoor locations at Juniper Preserve, and up next, let's take a look at Vintner. It's just over this way. Now, Juniper Preserve has a variety of smaller spaces like this dining hall where you can have up to 18 guests for a rehearsal dinner. You can sit next to a fire and you have beautiful views of the mountains outside. This makes for a very ideal location if you want to have a smaller dinner the night before your wedding or have your guests send you off for brunch the day after. Now, Juniper Preserve has a variety of accommodations like this deluxe king suite, which will be given to you as a place to stay on your wedding night. There are also a variety of room blocks and a ready room, which we'll take a look at next. Now, accommodations on your wedding morning are super important, especially if you have a larger wedding party. And that's why Juniper Preserve gives you this ready room with a huge shower. You've got a private space to change, and then there's plenty of room out in this living space where you can do hair and makeup. You can have a few drinks to get the morning started and just sort of have a place for your whole party to congregate before the ceremony. Now, along with the guest suites that we took a look at a minute ago, Juniper Preserve also has these vacation rentals, which come in 3 and 4 bedroom formats. These are super ideal for larger parties or family who want to come out and stay in the days leading up to your wedding. Let's take a look inside. Now, as a wedding videographer, I've seen tons of destination events and weddings out here in Central Oregon, and something that I've noticed is that family is almost always spread across multiple hotels and Airbnbs and kind of scattered all over the city. What's nice about a place like Juniper Preserve is that we have these really beautiful vacation rentals so that you can have everybody collected in one central place. They can play golf together, they can go swimming together, and it doesn't feel like everyone's scattered. Keeps everything central. If you're thinking about getting married to Juniper Preserve, then we will link their events team below. They're really awesome to work with. And while you're at it, check out A Beautiful Union. We are a film house based here in Central Oregon, and we do weddings and events all over the West Coast and beyond. In fact, here is a wedding video we shot at this location.